Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about university, as you know by the title. But just a few things to begin with. I have been studying at University of Ulster for the past 3 years, so I'm finished my course, I've graduated, I've done it, and I'm going to be going back to uni in this September, so this is September now, so in a few weeks. And my cousin is actually doing the same course as me, and with her, like I've done university, so I know how it goes, but since she hasn't been there before and stuff like that, she's been asking me a load of questions about what's going to happen and the classes, and I've been trying to explain, but she's like, but what's a lecture? And I'm like, you know, and I never realised how much people don't actually know before they enter the university world. So I thought I would do this video because a lot of few people will be starting university in the next couple of weeks, in this month in general, and they might be freaking out a bit, and this is just some tips and kind of just things that I learned and stuff just to kind of get you through and kind of let you know a bit more about what you're going to. Now bear in mind, the things I'm telling you might only apply to like universities in Northern Ireland, but most of them are pretty universal. So yeah, also can I point out that we have a little friend, if I can, sitting beside me. As you can see, my cat is right over there behind me. She has been in this room, so if you hear purring or she gets up and moves about, then that's okay. Just to let you know, we are not alone. The first tip or thing I have to tell you is, on your enrollment day, when you go in to to confirm your grades and to confirm basically your first day, where you go in and register and stuff, they take your picture, your student ID picture, they take it when you go to that day. So I made the mistake of turning up with my hair in pigtails, hardly any makeup on at all, and I just looked a bit weird. Now there's nothing wrong with pigtails, and there's nothing wrong with wearing no makeup. I'm not wearing any makeup right now, but I wanted to look better than that in my first picture, and I want you guys to look as good as you want yourselves to look in your picture. So that's why I told you that, because I was a little bit blindsided and I ended up I looked like a 4-year-old for about 3 years, and it wasn't good. And you use your student ID for quite a lot of stuff. You use it to get in and out of rooms, you use it to shop online, shop in stores, you use it when you're taking an exam, you need it with you. There's a lot of stuff you use it for, so you don't want, like, I know a lot, it's kind of a materialistic thing and a vain thing to think about that, but I know a lot of people were shocked that they were getting their picture taken on the very first day. And let's not talk about vanity right now, because my hair, I wanted to film, so my hair looks like this. And yeah, we'll just not talk about that anymore. So the second thing or tip that I'm going to give you is, don't buy your own books. Don't do it. Get them on library. That makes me sound like a cheap ass mofo, but I bought the big sociology book. I was doing sociology with drama at my last university, past 3 years, and I bought the big chunky sociology book. It cost like £30 or £40, and I've looked at it about twice, and I don't even think I got anything out of it. And it's sitting on my shelf yonder, and yeah, pointless. So the library, your university library, will be amazing. It will have everything that you could possibly need books wise, and you'll get a lot of stuff from the library. If you get there, if you get a reading list at the start, of each semester. So basically each term, if that's how your school worked. This is semesters, so semester 1 for most universities is from September to Christmas, and then semester 2 starts from after Christmas till about May, and then you go on summer holidays, and there's only 2 semesters. But you'll get a reading list for each module you do, and it'll tell you what reading you'll be doing each week, or what reading you'll be doing in general. So take a look at that and you'll get the idea of what books you need, and then you won't have to go and buy them all, because books are expensive and you're only going to use them once or twice. They will tell you that you need them. They will tell you that they are compulsory to have these books. Tell them that you're not mad and you're not buying 12 books that you're never going to read, because you don't need to. They're all in the library. And I know that some libraries only have about 3 or 4 copies, but try and get there early, and if there's only like 2 pages you need out of one book, then you can photocopy it in the library, and then you'll just have the 2 pages that you need, and obviously you don't have to carry a book around. If you're selfish like me, you would prefer to just take the book out and use it as the book, and if anybody else needs it, then well then tough shit in it. No, I normally share the books, sort of. Number 3 is go and see your tutors. I wish I could go back. Sorry, I'm looking at my thing because people are sending me cute questions for my Q&A. Yeah, go and see your tutors. Your tutors are there to help you. They're not mean. They're not teachers. They're not teachers. They are tutors. They are there to give you the information, to tell you how to do in exams. Most of them are actually really, really nice. And even the ones that aren't nice, it's still worth going to see them. Even if you do understand what they're talking about and you've got an essay coming up, just to go and see, like, say, this is my essay plan, is this correct? Or how good is this? Or how can I improve it? It'll help you a lot more to understand what they're learning, and it'll actually give you a relationship between your teachers, which you do need, because they aren't a teacher. They aren't going to shout at you. Well, they might, but they're not going to shout at you the way a teacher would. So, you know, you need to sort of build that relationship, and that'll get it, because I did that in 3rd year. In 3rd year, I went to see all my tutors and lectures, and they have little tutorials, so it's about 50-minute slot for each pupil. You have to book them, but I only did that in 3rd year, and I wish that I had done it in 1st and 2nd year, because going to see, especially my drama, going to see my tutors for drama in 3rd year literally saved me. Literally. So yeah, go and see your tutors. They're not going to kill you, and if they do, pick a hat, pick X, and go ham. Go full ham. Number 4 is I've wrote timing of classes, because another thing my cousin asked me was about buses and stuff, because she'll have to get to and from university, and she's like, well, what if I don't have a bus that'll get me down there for 9 a.m? And I'm like, but you don't know if you have a class at 9 a.m. See, most people think that university is the same as school. It starts at 9 o'clock, it finishes at 4 or 3 or 5, but it's not like that. In university you have things called lectures and things called seminars, which is actually number 5. So classes basically only last about 1 to 2 hours. If it's 3rd year, maybe 3, depending on what subject you're doing and stuff like that. But they typically only last about 2 hours at a time, 2 hour slots. So you could have a class at 11:15. In my university, they started the classes at 15, 15:15 each hour. You could have a class at 1:15, and then you don't have anything until 4:15. Or you could have one at 9:15 in the morning, and you don't have anything else until 3:15 in the afternoon. That's just the way uni works. They don't work around you, you work around them. So that's just a little thing to just keep in mind. Don't worry too much about times of classes and stuff like that, because obviously you'll get a timetable. and honestly you don't really have that many classes to keep a hold of, so you shouldn't get lost or anything like that. So number 5, I've kind of already mentioned it with the lectures and seminars. There's 2 classes, one's called a lecture, one's called a seminar. The lecture is, well, it kind of depends on each subject. For drama, my lectures were only an hour, and my seminars were 3 hours. Whereas in sociology, and I'm going on to do psychology, so it's probably going to be the same with psychology, the lectures could be 2 or 3 hours, and the seminars were an hour, 55 minutes, whatever it was. So yeah, a lecture is basically where you, sorry, my cat just moved, paying attention to every movement, because she is my baby. What was I saying? It was something about, oh, lectures are basically where the teacher tells you all the information. So he'll read out notes, different lectures have different vibes, different way of teaching, but most lectures that you go to, you sit and you listen to what they're saying. It's more like a speech, and it's more like teacher to student than anything else. In a seminar, it's a smaller group, so you're to be divided into groups for your seminars, whereas the lecture is just one big class. And a seminar will be more talkative, so the teacher is supposed to step back and let you guys do the talking and kind of express your concerns about what has just been taught, and stuff like that. And you might have readings for seminars, and you might have discussions to talk about, and little works like tasks to do among your groups and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's just the difference between a lecture and a seminar. Number 6, it's gonna sound like I'm giving you a lecture. I've learned this from experience. I've realised that it's not good to rush essays. Trust me. This kind of goes in with seeing your tutor. So you want to have a plan and then go see your tutor and then write the essay, or write half an essay and let him look at it or something. But basically, tip 6 is get your work right. Normally you have 12 weeks. 12-week terms or semesters are calculated into 12 weeks. So the week 12 normally consists of an exam over, like an exam explanation, like what's going to be in it, what questions are going to be asked, and you can have a discussion with your teacher about that. But what genuinely happens in week 12 is everybody freaks out at the fact they've got an essay due and doesn't turn up to class, and they miss all the tips. And there's nothing better than taking your own notes, because reading someone else's, it just doesn't work. Like my friends in uni, they could be writing down stuff. Like my friend Ariane, that I went to uni with past, she would kind of take, not full sentences, but kind of words, and it wouldn't make any sense to me, but it would make sense to her, and she would also add things in that she kind of thought while it was being said, and there go her thoughts, and if I had read it I wouldn't have understood it, because they're her thoughts and not mine. So it's best to get to the end class, because that class, even though it seems trivial, even though it seems like it's tying up a lot of loose ends, it's really, really important. You should, and that was my point, get your essays done before that class, and then you won't have to panic. I say get your essay. I'm not saying get your essays done as soon as you get them, or a week before, or 2 weeks before, because nobody's got time for that. You have a social life too. Okay, that's another tip. Don't forget your social life. But I say get your essay done 2 or 3 days before it's due, and then that means you can chill and you can get it uploaded, or you can get someone else to read it, or you can read it yourself. I find that getting someone else to read it or reading it out loud to myself helps a lot. So that was tip 6. Tip 7 is something kind of a wee bit weird as well. I just wrote down get to class early but not too early. So as I've said, most of my classes start at 1:15, so I would always try and get there by about, say it started at 1:15, I would get there at 1. And that's because it means you can get the best seat, and I feel like if you walk in late and you're stuck at the front, it's intimidating, teacher's staring at you, it just makes me anyway a little bit uncomfortable. So if you get there a wee bit early, you can go in, get your seat, sit beside your friends, chill, have a wee bit of a gossip about the day or whatever, and get your books out and stuff, and by that time you'll have done all the talking, your lecturer walks in, and you're ready to go. But I'm saying don't get there too early, because you'll be sitting on your own or with your friends. You'll be sitting there for a while, and sometimes lectures can be late. They're not always on time, believe it or not. We had one that was never on time. Ever. Number 8, actually, with saying that, being late is okay. It's okay. I was saying get there early. I don't want you to freak out about the idea of arriving late and them going to shout at you or something. Most of the lectures are fine. If you walk in, say sorry I'm late, or just walk in and sit down, they don't mind it. In fact, my lecturer actually was like, if you walked in late, he would be like, it's okay, you're early for next week. You know, he made a joke about it, and that was nice. Whereas the other lecturer said, well, if you're sorry, then you wouldn't have been late. He was a bit of an arsehole. I'm pretty sure he knows that, and if he watches that, then I'm pretty sure that everyone thought that you were an arsehole. If you know who I'm talking about, if you know that it's you, everybody thinks you're an arsehole. Just let you know. Just me getting, a fine from the University of Ulster for discriminating a teacher. But yeah, and that's another thing to remember. The teachers aren't there to judge you or call you stupid, or they're not there to be strict, hit you with a whip teachers. They're there to give their knowledge to you and to teach you about the things that they've become experts in. And they're not there to be pissed. You're an adult now. So if any of the teachers, I'm not saying pick up an argument, but just don't let them walk over you, because I learned that in 3rd year and I wished I'd have learned it in 1st year. Tip 9 is about your bibliography. So when you write essays, you will have to put a number of references to back up what you've already said. Most tech courses and A-level stuff already have done this, but it's very different when you get to university. The bibliographies are way harder to write. References, you normally get them on, go to Cite This For Me, CITE4me.com, and you just type in what book you have, what page, what chapter, anything, and it'll cite it for you in the referencing font or thing that your university prefers you to do it in. That is what I suggest to do. But a little tip is, if you're using a book and you've lost, you don't have any more sources that you can use, and you're like, oh my god, I don't have enough in my bibliography, then go to the book that you've just used, go to its bibliography, and it's bound to have something in it that you haven't read and it's on the same topic as what you're studying. So that's what I learned as well. I actually learned that from my supervisor during my dissertation. Which brings me on to number 10, the final one. This is going to sound heavy, but your dissertation, some of you won't have to do it, some courses you don't have to do it, but dissertation is when it's a big paper you write at the end of your years at university. It's between 7,000 and 10,000 words, I believe. I think mine was about 8,000 words. It sounds a lot, but once it all comes together, it'll be fine. But my tip about that is start thinking about what you want to write about in the start of 2nd year. I know you're not going to do it until the end of 3rd year, but when you get to 3rd year, you're going to shit your pants. Because it's literally like, here's an essay from this module, here's another essay from this module, oh, you've got an exam as well, and oh yeah, the big long dissertation, you have to have it bounded, print it bounded, and hand it into the office by about 12 AM. And before you know it, you're having a heart attack in the middle of a union shop, and all you want is coffee and chocolate and pillows. Luckily, I had a really good supervisor, so I didn't really have to panic as much, but I still did panic, and it was very, very stressful. And I just feel like if I had been more prepared, I know the university, they're not going to spoon feed you everything. That's not what it is at all. You are working on your own, but start thinking about your dissertation topic at the start of 2nd year. It will help you immensely. It will help you a lot. So that is all my tips for university. If you have any more questions, please leave them down below. I will be happy to answer anything. Follow me on my social media, which I'll link below also.